This is the latest movie from Jennifer Kent, who previously made The Babadook, which is a horror movie that I did end up liking a fair bit, although there were things in it I didn't really care for. But now she's back, and this time she takes on a very different sort of story. It's a story set in Tasmania, Australia, in 1825 to be very specific, which is the information I got from IMDb. Because I'm pretty sure they don't specify the location or the era in the actual movie at all. You just have to sort of make an educated guess and pick up on some of the less subtle clues. Like the fact that there are Aborigines around and everyone dresses a certain way. But anyway, the story here centers around this Irish woman who's apparently a prisoner, serving a sentence there. And since Australia was once a penal colony, that's another pretty strong clue right there. But this woman's not actually in prison, however the outback and the wilderness act as a pretty effective deterrent from trying to escape. And she works as some sort of a servant at a camp for a group of British soldiers stationed there. And that's the basic setup here, and I don't know how much more I really want to give away. But things go down a certain path, and through a series of events, this basically turns into a tale of revenge. And revenge movies is a subgenre I usually enjoy quite a bit. I'm not sure why, but I guess there's something about that sense of justice being served. And as far as the motivations for the revenge go in this one in particular, let's just say that it feels more than justified, because this one gets dark. Real dark at one point. And in some ways I would almost categorize this as a horror movie. One that explores a very different kind of horror than The Babadook. The kind of horror human beings are capable of, and yeah, there's some really dark stuff in this. And it takes quite a bit for me to find something in a movie genuinely disturbing. But this one I would say did manage to do that, especially at one point. And it's not just what happens, but how it's dealt with too. It's handled extremely effectively. They just did a great job with getting me to feel very uncomfortable with what was going on. Which I guess brings me to the filmmaking and the more technical stuff. Now, the movie is shot in a 4:3 aspect ratio, and the picture has this soft but kinda warm quality to it. You know, a bit like a vintage photograph, which I'm sure is intentional. And it's a very effective movie overall. I don't have really many complaints. The acting is really good too, especially from Aileen Franciosi, who plays the lead. However, I will have to say that I didn't find the pacing to be that amazing. It felt a tad bit long, and there are just chunks where not a whole lot of importance happens. Now, I wouldn't say there are a lot of completely pointless scenes. Usually the scenes do serve a purpose and do have some point to them. Whether that be to drive the story forward or to build up the characters. But there are just a lot of scenes that didn't necessarily feel vital. And since this is well over 2 hours, some of those could have probably been cut out, just to make it a bit tighter. But I wouldn't say that was a massive issue either, just something that could have been done a bit better. And I will also say that the ending wasn't necessarily my favorite part of the movie either. I think it could have used some fine-tuning too, just to make it a bit punchier, I guess. However, overall, I really like this one. It's a good revenge story, not too shabby at all. So how about it? Would I recommend it? Sure, it's a pretty decent movie, so maybe give it a look. Or don't. After all, I'm not your dad. But hey, what are your thoughts on this? Have you seen it? Did you like it? Let me know. And if you enjoyed the video, maybe give it a thumbs up or sub to the channel, because that would be fantastic. And if you'd like, you can also support me on Patreon or PayPal through the links in the description. And as always, I appreciate you, and thanks for watching.